All right, guys, so some of you have been really interested in our envelope system and our monthly budgets and have asked some really, really great questions. So I'm just going to start with the questions and then I'll answer them if that's cool. All right, so one of you wanted to know, like, do we have a set schedule, like a monthly routine? And how do we pick a specific date? So I guess you're talking about when do we do our monthly budget? So our family sits down that last week, one of those days of the last week, and we work through the monthly budget together. I say we do it together. I kind of put it out on a yellow pad, and then my husband and I talk about it, and we make sure that we haven't forgotten anything that's coming up, or if there was another envelope we need to start like cash flowing to. And then I ask the kids also what's going on in their lives, if they're going to need any money, field trips, t-shirts, stuff like that for their different school clubs. And then we kind of just go from there. Honestly, this has been the best way. I know that we're supposed to sit down as a family each month, but when you have 3 teenagers and one of them's driving and 2 of them are in training and then a husband who farms, like, we're not all together for anything but breakfast. And the last thing that we want to do in the mornings is talk about money, but we're good to eat and we're good to have our Bible study. It's just whenever I start having conversations about money with my husband that early in the morning, it is not a fabulous plan. Not at all. All right, so the next one is asking, like, how do we get everybody to cooperate? And Eric and I are the breadwinners of the family. It's not about the kids' cooperation. We tell them that it's not in the budget because they know what the budget looks like. They know that if they're in need of something, it's one thing, but if it's a want, then that's completely a different situation. And we're pretty low key as a family. Like, none of us enjoy shopping, none of us. So we don't have to worry about that unforeseen expense of somebody decide they needed buckle jeans or something. That's not in our tool set. Like, we just hate shopping. What we like to spend our money on, unfortunately, is chips and salsa. I say unfortunately, I'm a nutritionist, and so, like, I know I've probably raised my kids to, 1, either die of obesity, or 2, die of hypertension because we always add salt to the chips and salsa. But we love it so. Anyway, so that's kind of like, it's not really everybody's on board, but everybody is so used to the program that we don't have any squabbles or discontentedness. Like $1,800 bank loan that's left over from, I don't know, a weird purchase we made. Once that's paid off, the $130 that went to the braces and the $102 that went to the bank are going to be added together, and it's going to go to the Journey, which is the car that we have, and that's going to pay that off faster. So with the $322 and then I don't even know, I can't do math. So the $131 and the $102 together is going to give me what? So that 233 plus the 322 is what's going to go into the journey, and so it gets paid off even faster. Does that make sense? I'm hoping I'm not like making things complicated. And this is why Casey is not a teacher. This is why I am a nutritionist. Okay, so that's just kind of how that works for us. We do a zero-based budget. We sit down and we make sure that the monthly money has a name, like every dollar has a place to go. And if every dollar does not have a place to go, it gets tucked into the emergency fund. If the emergency fund is funded to the $1,000, then the money, the extra money that's left over, goes into that debt snowball. So that's why we've been able to pay off our braces a little bit faster than we intended. They aren't supposed to be paid off until this August, and we're in February, so we're hoping that we'll have them paid off in March. So I am really excited. So just a little extra bit really helps out a lot. Do we always use cash? That is an excellent question. So here's the deal. We use cash envelopes. We do the cash envelope system. I'll link the video below about our cash envelope system because some of you have really had great questions asked for that. We do operate everything off cash that is not an electronic funds transfer. So all of our bills are electronic funds transfer except for the Village, which is our water and our trash, and the kids' lunch account, which does not come out automatically. I have to write checks for that still. And I feel like there's one more. Oh, and our rent. Our rent has to be paid like with a check instead of just an automatic funds transfer. So those three things I write checks for every month. And I write them out at the beginning of the month, so I know that they are going to have to come out and they are already accounted for in the budget. And then whatever I have each week when Eric gets paid, we take that and put it into cash envelopes. But for the most part, everything in our cash envelopes we do on a weekly basis. We don't do a monthly at this point because we are still struggling and living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. We hope to not have to have that too much longer, but we are living weekly paycheck to paycheck. We can almost do it bi-weekly, but we aren't there yet. We're getting there. Do we use an online budgeting tool? We have tried to use the online budgeting tools that Dave Ramsey suggests, which is EveryDollar. Personally, I like pen and paper. I like seeing the calculations come out. I don't know. I like writing them down. And my husband wasn't using the app, so we didn't feel like spending $10 on it to tell us when we were already knowing when payments were coming out was a good deal for us. So we nixed it. We stopped the subscription. All right, the next question is, do we have goals? Yes, and yes. So our number one goal is to definitely get our debt paid off. We want to be done paying on the journey in 2 years. So by 2021, we want to be done paying on the journey. We still have my 2 student loan debts from going to college for my bachelor's degree and then for my master's. So those are huge. I mean, like, I don't know what I was thinking. So we will be paying on those, and we want to get those off of our plate before we buy a house. So we will, in the baby steps, the first one is save $1,000, and the second one it is to debt snowball, to pay off all of your debt, and you pay that off smallest to largest, regardless of your interest rates. So, or regardless of the smallest payment. So our smallest debt right now is the braces, but we pay more towards that than we do towards our bank loan. But our bank loan's number is higher. It's $1,800 versus $500. So we want to make some headway. It has been so cool paying off these littler debts till we got to this bigger one, you know what I mean? And then snowballing into it. It just makes it go so much faster. Our second goal is we would like to spend more time together. I'm always with the kids and Eric is always working. So our number one goal is to spend more time as a couple together. And so we would like to be able to do an annual trip where he and I go off and just spend some alone time. and that's where we really have those nitty-gritty talks where we can be open and honest about, like, you know, our home plans and our housing, like what are we going to do, you know, do we want to. So, and I feel no guilt over taking a trip without the kids. The kids and I have gone on vacations without my husband, and it's always been during farming season when he couldn't come. So the kids are old enough now that they understand that, like, I need to spend quality time with my spouse and he needs to spend quality time with me, and it's not them. It's just that we need to be, like, able to enjoy being, instead of parents constantly being husband and wife, and just having fun by ourselves. And they're teenagers right now, so sometimes they don't want to spend time with us. So it's really just kind of like a win-win situation for all of us. They're like, you guys go be adults and we're going to go over. We would like to be out of debt completely in 5 years. What that looks like is a whole lot of money, a whole lot of money. We're talking about $118,000 in debt. So with all of that combined, I've started my own business, hoping that I can make some extra income and throw it at the debt. So did we cut up our credit cards? Yes, we did. We cut up our credit cards and we made them into a Christmas ornament. I will have to show you that one of these days. That would be a good thing to show you guys. But we really got excited about it. We cut up all of our credit cards. We canceled, or well, we paid them off and then we canceled them, because I think that's how Dave told us to do it. Maybe not. Maybe he said cut them up and cancel. But we did not. We cut them up and then we paid them off and then we canceled. So, but yes, it's a beautiful thing, and we hang it on the Christmas tree, and every year the kids, when they put it out, they're like, Mom, it's the credit cards, and they put it on the tree. So lots of fun. All right, guys, so that is wrapping up some of the questions that you guys have asked us. If you guys have any more questions, hey, ask those down below. I would love to see them, and I'd love to do another Q&A where I answer your questions. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell. That'll give you the notifications that I've posted a new video. Okay, guys, I will see you next Wednesday. God bless.